Welcome to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 3. Conversation for today is the future of boxing for 2022. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get straight into the conversation. The future of boxing for 2022, man, I can kind of see a bright year. You got Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence matchup that could be possibly made. You got so many fights that can be made. Canelo Alvarez, Benavidez, all these guys are great. The guys that you're going to see up on my screen, I put it this way for a reason, because I know for a fact that some of these fights can be made, can make for an even bigger year than 2021. A lot of these matches we've been waiting on for 3 to 4 years. So I think it's time for some of these fights to be had. I would love to see Errol Spence and a lot of these top dogs get into the ring. Jerome Ennis be able to get a chance to win a championship, or face the winner of Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. I think it can make for a great fight. Some of these fights could be it could be easily made, because Terrence Crawford, I think that he can go, as far as we know, he's a free agent right now. I think he got a lot of room to work. I think he can make his career even bigger. I think he's still got a lot to prove. I think he still takes some hits from people that's not true Terrence Crawford fans. Maybe more Errol Spence fans. I think he got a lot to prove in the welterweight division. But also, what if these guys step up to 154? Then you start talking about facing off against Charlo, and many more. Danny Garcia, even I think that those options would be really good for Terrence Crawford at 154. If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard through the grapevine that Danny Garcia actually turned down the fight. I'm not sure how true that is. The business of boxing is very different than what the public perceive it as. Sometimes these things, they take time, and to get the best fights, and sometimes for the business to be right, sometimes it takes time. I think everything is sometimes it's too complicated to understand, but I think it could get better. But with these promoters are starting to reach out, starting to fight on, let these fighters fight on different networks, which I think, I may or may not have a video about promoters, but a lot of these guys nowadays are becoming their own promoters, so they got more free range. Even Tank. I would love to see Tank fight Gary Russell Jr. I think that'll be a good start to his 2022 campaign. I think Gary Russell, even with a win or loss, I think it'll be a good fight for both of them. I think it'll be a good fight to showcase their skills, showcase what they can do, and also start the year off right. Why not? I think that's probably the best matchup for Gervonta Tank Davis and Gary Russell Jr. What if we get to see the Devin Haney's, step up and be able to get some of these bigger fights? I would love to see Devin Haney and Tank Davis, or Gary Russell Jr. or Teofimo. I don't think Teofimo is done. I don't think one loss define you. I think he needs to keep going and stay active. Also, Ryan Garcia, will he come back? That's another conversation. Get down in the comments below and let me know what you think about that situation. Will Ryan Garcia come back? Will he be stronger? Will he be better? Will he be more active? I think he got too much talent. He got some flaws in his game. I see. He kind of keep his chin up too high and all that good stuff. But I think with the history between him and Devin Haney, those fights need to be happening. And I know he's screaming Tank Davis. I think with the reach and everything, that'll make a very interesting fight between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. But I think with the history between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, I think it'll make it even interesting conversation. And also, I think those tickets will sell. It'd be an easy pay-per-view. If you want to count the zone as being pay-per-view, I guess Devin Haney has always fought on pay-per-view. But I think from how young these guys are, they still got so much room to grow. I think they big stars. I think all of them are big stars, no matter the age. Tank is like 27. I'm not sure when his birthday is or whatever, but as far as I know, he's 27 right now. Devin Haney is 23. Shakur Stevenson is 23. Teofimo is 23. All these guys are so freaking young that they careers is just ahead of them. So if they, I think some of these fights need to happen with the win or loss. I think they can share these moments. But as far as promoters, I think they need to really start trying to put some of these fights together. But with Canelo Alvarez, I think he can actually step up and get bigger fights. He's getting accused of ducking a lot of guys. I mean, in some cases, hard to defend it. As much as I like Canelo Alvarez, but it's hard to defend him when every time you turn around, it's like, oh, you ducked this person, we won't fight this person. I think he's got probably more options than anybody in the sport of boxing right now. I think he can get back out there and put on a great show. And a lot of these fighters, I think he'll win. I think he'll beat Andre. That's just my own opinion. But I think the 50-50 fights that he needs to go for to define his legacy. I think if he don't fight him, I don't think you can say he's an all-time great. I think you say he's a good fighter with a lot of championship belts. But if you guys want to dispute that, get down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. All the Canelo fans, let me know what you think about what Canelo is doing. Should he fight the top dogs in the middleweight division or super middleweight? Why go up to 175? Those guys are big. Not to say he can't do it, but I think if you was to beat Jamal Charlo, if you was to beat Benavidez, I think you'll have, if you went up to 175 and won a belt, you have to put him in that conversation. But until he fight Benavidez and Andre and Jamal Charlo, you got to question, what is he really after? What is it really proving that you fighting fighters that you're going to beat? But I think for 2022, I think is a big step up for everybody. I think all top boxers can step up, especially Ryan Garcia. He got to get more active. Like I say, he trained with Canelo, so he's learning. I'm not quite sure how often he's in the gym, but does he still got the drive as far as being a YouTube star, Instagram sensation, or whatever? Is that all he's looking for? We don't really know what's his mindset. But I think with certain fights that he can get into, he can easily, being 23 years old, I think he can easily get back in that big conversation of being one of the 3 or 4 kings. But even Lomachenko and all them, I think that all those fights can be amazing. Kambosos, all of them. But as you can see, Jerome Ennis, I'm really curious to see what kind of road he takes. I think that he's done with the B-level fighters. I think he's done with the C-level fighters. I think that he can get out there and showcase his true skill against the best welterweights out there. And I think he can easily move up to 155, easy, quick. I mean, he got the body size for it. I mean, he's just like a smaller version of Roy Jones. I know he campaigned at 147, but he could easily make 155. I'm pretty sure he walk around at 165 with ease. He doesn't look like he get out of shape. Look like he's always in the gym, always hungry. He like around a lot of good people. But Jermell Charlo, the fight with him and Brian Castano, I think that's going to be a great. They fight on the 29th of February. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to be intense. But I do give Jermell, I do think he will knock. It's hard to predict a knockout, but I do think he will knock Castano out. I think if you really go back and watch the last fight that they had, I think he hurt him way too much. It's like every other round he was hurting him. But in certain spots he wasn't letting his hands go. But he got Derek James in his corner. I think he'll clean some of that up. And I'm not saying that Brian Castano would get just punished or he'll lay down, because that's not true. In the amateurs, he beat a lot of top guys. Even though the amateurs are different than it's way different than the big leagues of boxing, but still, he got to know what it takes to actually win. They kind of give him the confidence to keep going with beating Errol Spence. So with Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence being in the same camp, having the same coach, I'm pretty sure that Castano, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot of confidence going into these fights. But let's make this conversation even bigger. I want to thank you guys again for tuning into another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, man. I think the conversation is getting bigger and bigger with you guys, man. We have 46 followers right now. And to be a brand new channel, for me to take a hiatus, still learning, I think we are all doing good. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it going. Let's get this channel big. Let's get these conversations heard. You guys comment down below. Let me know what you want to hear. What you want to talk about, what needs to be talked about, who needs to be fighting, all that good stuff. Let's make this conversation bigger. That's what this channel is about. It's making the conversation super big. But I can only do it with you guys. So Thanks for tuning in. But before we get out of here, you know what I always say. Please like, share, comment down below, subscribe. If you want to check out what I'm wearing, you see a lot of crazy stuff that I'll be wearing from my clothing line. Obviously, the hat on my head is not from my clothing line, but I got a lot of dope hats and stuff like that. You'll see me from time to time. I may start trying to post some more stuff on social media. You know, I do all that stuff on IG. So if you want to go to my IG page, I got 2 IG pages. Everything will be down in the links below, so it's easy to find it. I'm also over there on Twitch. I got a lot of boxing over there. As far as fight night, go check some of them fights out, man. Like I said, I'm a big boxing fan. But let's go ahead and cut this thing short, man. Please keep showing your support. Please like these videos. They got to be liked even more. You guys are doing like crazy good in the comment section, but we got to get better with the likes. The more you like it, the bigger the conversation get. That's what you got to tell yourself. If you can look at this video and also try to view the video a little bit longer. I know it's hard. You know, it's 2022 now, so I know it's hard to pay attention keep your attention long on a video. I try to not make them too long, but just long enough to get the point across to where you guys can understand what I'm talking about. You can also contribute to the conversation. But we got to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in to Big Bear Boxing Squad.